Okay, I have no idea. There was okay. I actually think this is planned to be live, but the content of the whole thing is too raunchy that I can't actually safely do that. And it's a piece of text, but I am so concerned that I can't even show you the text itself. Anyway, let's begin. This is Maid and Mademoiselle by some schmuck. DS. I want. It involves conjoinment, which means we're off to a very good start. Anyway, let me just prepare a bit. Let us begin. You missed that spot as well. And that's Mistress Theresian, lazily pointing at a smudge high up on the glass windows. My apologies, mademoiselle. At that side, trying to reach the indicated panel with her mom. This had been hard enough when she still had both her arms. Trying to reach the high with one arm became a tricky balancing act. And don't exert our bodies so much. Only me like myself isn't supposed to squat. And it gave her mistress a semi-apologetic smile, trying to calm her patience. Yes, mademoiselle. Ever since the operation after Therese's tragic car accident, they have been inseparable. Can't they just crumble a little more elegantly or something? At this rate, I won't be able to keep us from transpiring much longer. I'll do my best, mademoiselle. Inseparable, because to save the life of her mistress, she had volunteered to share her body in order to keep Therese alive. I obviously haven't prepared for this. I can never, for the life of me, properly pronounce Therese. Two heads on their shoulders. Therese is to her right, each controlling her own half of what was otherwise a normal body. The surgeon boasting he had combined the best of both. I was watching a segment where the guy was like literally doing malpractice, drunk off his ass, doing the operations. Sorry, it's a very bad comparison. Where was I? Whatever. Surgeon boasting head can buy the best of both. Whatever that was supposed to mean. Somehow she imagined conjugal life would be so much different than this. While her family received ample financial compensation, which is unusual because you only get financial compensation if you or your loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, it only seemed natural Therese would be forced to drop her princess attitude sooner or later. Oh, and stop quoting those money, Sony. There's less than 2 hours remaining for tonight's banquet, and I shall not be late. Is that understood? Yes, mademoiselle. At its side. Any day now. Therese checked her watch, growing more impatient with each passing minute. Anyway, it was good she was able to oversee Odette's work at all times now. It was clear the girl could benefit greatly from her coordination. But watching her clean was just too boring, and she really didn't appreciate the physical exertion. Even though she worked hard, it was still impossible to keep them cool. The slight transpiration made her long for the hot baths she had scheduled before heading off to the night's banquet. You'd better not get drunk again tonight. I suspect they're still talking about an incident at Josephine's birthday. She warned, inspecting the now impeccable nails on her hand. It had taken hours and hours of expensive manicure to get them back in shape after the years of abuse that death had subjected them to. Oh, damn it. Mademoiselle knows I'm really bad with alcohol. If Mademoiselle didn't drink so much herself, I wouldn't. What? How dare you insinuate that I, Therese Renee de Walborg, a lady of impeccable class and dignity, drink excessively to suit my social anxiety? I cannot tolerate such impudence. Collect your belongings and depart this mansion. You're fired! She declared, pointing angrily at the doorway. With a thin smile, Adette offered her offered the long her, ah. With a thin smile, Adette offered her the long mop, the soapy water dripping down its pole, and she looked away in distaste. After you finish your windows, of course, and I shall be meeting you back afterwards, said Maid and Mademoiselle. Adette nodded with another impudent sigh. Let's all remember that they are conjoined. I would love to show you the image, but which is SFW, but I'm not too confident showing it like in the context of where I'm getting the picture. It's gonna be bloody obvious, and I don't want to save it on my computer. Drafting the bath in the bathing hall a short while after, and then quickly hoped Therese would cut down on the booze that night. It was funny enough Therese had continued to treat Therese her maid at her friend's table, insisting to Josephine that servants never eat with their employees. Although shared stomach ensured she hadn't gone hungry, she would have loved to at least taste some of the delicious smelling food. But Therese, quaffing glass after glass of wine, had quickly given her something else to worry about. While Therese seemed quite used to the stupor it put them in, she herself had never been a big drinker. It became quite a spectacle leaving the dining hall. The rehearsed left-right coordination entirely gone, swaggering through the room, nearly tripping all over their own feet, while Therese frantically bickered which feet came first. Despite Therese's seeming impression, most of the other guests had been understanding of their situation. But when she started publicly assuring everyone that she would sack her maid the minute they got home, it had become too comical for even the well-mannered cock to keep a straight face. My bed is ready, mademoiselle. She concluded as she sampled the water temperature one last time. Here, isn't Matthew Leventhal look dreamy? Is it in the back tonight as well? Therese shoved her glossy magazine she had been reading under her nose with a smile, and had finally realized she had been feeling so frisky. Therese's hormones were playing up again. Okay, what follows here in this part is going to be so heck. This is the reason why I can't do this live, why I can't do this with text on, because you're gonna hear some shit. Thank goodness for hot baths after the hard race to work, don't you agree? Therese sighed happily, lazily stirring the water with her hand while their body soaked. Indeed, mademoiselle. Adette whispered contentedly sighed, and Therese blinked with indignation. You're supposed to be washing up, not just enjoying the bath. Come on, I mean, we're getting sharing the same freaking body and we're literally goddamn bathtub, but you are still below me. In case, okay? Not exactly like literally below me, we're literally side by side, we're conjoined. My apologies, mademoiselle. That sputtered. Such a lazy girl she was. Watching Adette prepare the soapy sponge. Therese relaxed again, gazing down her arm and leg. The blood turned out surprisingly well. Not a single scar visible on their unblemished skin. I can freaking imagine, like how you can just imagine what kind of unholy merging took place. Like remember, we're talking about someone who literally pretty much had their half. I apologize. I apologize. I've read this 100 times, but this is like the first time I'm recording this, and I'm getting to stupid shit. But this is like one of those contexts where you just kind of think, did this fucker? Did they just pretty much like it's like half and half? It's usually what happens, and this is the case here. She was certain that they had their own smooth legs. Such elegance could have come from a working-class girl as Adette, but their breasts were certainly not hers. She had known the way Adette's big breasts bounced at first. There was just nothing sophisticated about them. But they filled out with Earth is quite generous now, and the gentleman in her life had certainly noticed. Ever since the surgery, her larger breasts suddenly made her the center of attention. Any large breasts are automatically the center of any fucking attention. Like, you don't need to do a lot of effort if you've got tits. Man, such a simple creature. pictures. But you live in town wouldn't be quite that shallow, would he? She could see him now, moisturized by her ample chest. Irony. Running through running his strong hands over her sensitive skin, softly squeezing her nipples, just like this. The water sloshing in the back of his head was gently shampooing her hair, her own hand acting out her daydream. Ah, they both moaned, then stared at each other in surprise. If we can just together, yeah, oh shit, oh I forgot, this low class over here can feel me too. What's the meaning of this? What kind of perverted thoughts are you entertaining to around her butt like this? Fill my mind with uncouth fantasies. Terry shot up the bathroom, squinting as the soapy drop of the water ran into her eyes. Are you sure you, Mademoiselle, it wasn't... I mean... That blushed fiercely. Terry seemed equally embarrassed, even though it was obvious she had been fondling her body just now. are, are you insinuating that I, Therese Renee de Bourges, properly educated and ladylike behavior, would partake in such lewd activity? That's the last straw. You're fired! I can't scream out loud, I apologize. Her mistress blinked angrily. But Odette could only feel pity as the poor thing still had soap in her eyes, and now splashed some water to wash it out. She finally blushed, grabbing the last soap out of her eyes. Odette just gave her a timid smile, focusing her thoughts to force her body to calm down. But it was a lonely battle, and she was losing. Well, take responsibility for your demon thoughts. We got you out the back to feel like this, so you're going up to Mademoiselle. Odette stammered, feeling the blush deepen. Surely, mistress didn't mean. I command you to pleasure Henry. Very specified. It's been far too long. It would be too distracting left unattended now. Yes, Mademoiselle. Odette smiled shyly, her heart pounding. They hadn't discussed how to deal with such private issues yet. By both of them sharing every sensation, how much privacy could they hope for between them? Therese bit her lip in pleasure, as she felt her servant's fingers eagerly brush against their supports. Though she seemed clumsy and inexperienced. I could smooth when he touch himself in the company of others, of course, but that company seemed guaranteed these days. Oh man, this is giving me great concern. And then they didn't quite specify the proper behavior for a situation like this. Etiquette for conjoined people. Rule number 1, what the fuck are you doing? It was fitting that her maid performed the actual pleasuring, and she would of course ensure not to make lewd noises unbefitting a lady of her stature. Be more gentle, she moaned a second later, surprised by the sensitivity of their clumsy simulation. The intense arousal seemed to have put them on a hair trigger. So it felt good to have her needs indulged again after all the misery she went through. The text says now. What if Matthew Libenthal would indeed be enamored with her tonight? What if we ended up in a situation a lady of her class should not find herself in? Especially if kisses driving her to sinful thoughts, his dreamy eyes undressing her. And that would shame the troubles, and perhaps she could curse her from rupture in him to prepare for him for their penetration, something she personally found quite distasteful and below her, but men seemed to greatly enjoy. They were just shamefully aroused now. But that was taking far too long. Your technique is so sloppy, she groaned, pushing Odette's hand away from her thighs, closing her eyes into light as her superiorly experienced fingers found their target. Boom! When Mademoiselle Odette moaned, squirming in the water under her mistress's touch, her fingers slipping in around the each rub, push, and slide, sending their body rippling with sheer sexual electricity. Let's keep your voice down. Therese expanded with A favorite blush. Do you want the entire mansion to hear? No. And that forced her voice to a whisper, momentarily binding her fingers stopped further cries from echoing through the bathing hall. Then guiltily sliding her hand back into the water, taking turns lending their sensitive breasts. Can you feel it approaching? Therese moaned, and it nodded feverishly, plunging the bath edge in her sexual haze, almost feeling confused with the intensity of the sensations racking their body. She never felt like this. Never so soon. Therese's fingers were simply amazing. Mademoiselle, oh God! Be quiet! Therese shaded her with a horny grin that didn't fit her words. What that grin kind what does that grin kind of said? If we're having a fun time, we might as well let the whole world know. That simply felt she was losing her mind. Even Teresa's dainty foot sliding against her leg underwater, sending ripples up the length of her body. Her own fingers pinching her incredibly sensitive nipples. Delirious with their intimate shared pleasure, they stared into each other's eyes, knowing that their body was about to reach its first fuse again. Excuse me. It had gently pulled her close, locking her lips with her mistress. Both girls moaning and tumbling into the kiss while the blood sloshed in turmoil around them. Teresa's fingers unleashing a final sensual assault on her, until finally, its golden pleasure as their set in. Their body racked with pulse after pulse of heavenly delight, their trembling heads bucking hard in Teresa's fingers. Their shucks, where was I? The pleasure just kept coming and coming. The bath water gushing over the sides they surrendered to the overwhelming sensations. Dazed with delight, they assumed their kiss, finally parting as they gasped for air, panting and wheezing. Teresa's lazy diddling triggered several further minor gasps. I'm not sure if orgasm is a bad word, but then again I've been saying fuck for the 100th time. And that's how you should pleasure our thingy. I hope you were paying attention. This kinds of lesson do not come free. There is force her usual instructive tone for a shallow breath, then lay back in the warm water with them as they slowly recovered in post-orgasmic bliss. That was amazing, there is the final whimper. But there is angrily pointing at the sponge folding past their legs, or their twitching legs. That's Mademoiselle Therese to you, and don't just lie there panting. You're not done washing us. No. Toweling their by and right, their legs still feeble from their thundering climax, but that still had a big smile on her face, the pleasant afterglow a new sensation for her. Why are you humming? Therese blushed, offering her arm for the towel. Surely this wasn't your first time. I've never felt such experience before. Mademoiselle. I guess we all know what she's been doing in her free fucking time, eh? What? Are you insinuating that I, the intimate board, am the sort of lecherous individual who'd spend long nights in her room perfecting the art of pleasuring herself, even fantasizing about making love to another woman? Mademoiselle, I don't quite know all about that. That grinned. But I didn't know Mademoiselle is a real pervert for knowing her way so well around her. Oh. She gave her mistress another kiss and giggled to saw how worked up Therese was getting again. The girl blushed deeper as she discovered that having one arm wasn't quite enough to gradually cross and the thing crossed her chest. Just pretend. Puffing her cheeks with indignation as she planted in her side instead. The nerve! And kissing me without warning. I cannot tolerate such intimacies in the work floor. You're sorry! But at the lofty banquet, Annette was somehow still securing the employment of her mistress. It's not like she can go anywhere, right? And in no small part due to their wonderful chasm earlier, they seemed to have a noticeable glow about them, causing several guests to come and guess how radiant they appeared tonight. Emboldened by all the compliments, Therese wasted no time in getting her eye thrown. Finding Matthew Liebenthal, twice voted most eligible bachelor, notorious playboy, heir to an astounding fortune, loudly enjoying some. That's no longer an apostrophe. Loudly enjoying some drinks at the bar with his friends. Introduce me. Therese suddenly whispered into Annette's ear as they approached, and she shot into a deep blush, trying to remember her proper words. Excuse me, Mr. Liebenthal. Please allow me to introduce my mistress, the Lady Therese Renee de Valborge. I'm sure if the author was pretty much let it, that name would have been like 3 lines longer. She gestured to her right and cast down her eyes as she recalled the rest of the protocol. How do you do? Therese smiled her most elegant smile, extending her silk gloved hand. Doing quite well, all of a sudden, was his slack-jawed response, and Therese blushed confidently. A bit stunning, of course. Of all the girls chatting me up this evening, you two are certainly the most exotic. He laughed, his friend smiling and pushed us a doctor. My 79 share about it. It's nothing unusual. It's everything unusual. How are you enjoying your evening so far? Therese waved his boorish attitude away, maintaining impeccable manners. Bored senseless until you arrive. Let's go back to my place. This is an experience I wouldn't want to miss. He grinned, wrapping his arm around him. Annette gave her mistress a quick glance, but she was still smiling. Surely she wasn't thinking of taking this jerk's offer. Excuse me, but your behavior is quite inappropriate. Therese stated indignation, trying to push his arm away, but Matthew simply laughed. Don't be so dull. You're not going to tell me you two aren't into threesomes. Therese and Annette exchanged a quick glance, and a mere moment later, after Annette's fist landed square on his jaw with a loud smack, sending Matthew straight to the floor, he dazedly blinked up at them as he only slowly caught up with what just happened. What the? What the? You mean punch me? Doesn't you know who I am? That Therese stared at her conjoined partner in shock, but Annette just smirked down at the stunned man trying to squirm off of the marble tiles. When my lady asks you to back off, you back off. Got it? That's a working class prowess for you. What the heck was I? How 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 dare you speak to me like that? I'm your servant. This is unacceptable. I demand you sack her right this instant. What? The girl I'm sharing a body with? Are you stupid or something? Therese snarled, and Annette fought back her smile as the scene was attracting quite a bit of attention already. I shall have to discipline you for this impression, Annette. Right now I'm thirsty and bored of our ill-mannered company. As Mademoiselle wishes. Annette nodded, and to her surprise felt Therese gently clasp her still painful hand in hers. Bluntly nothing left and right as applause rose from the other guests. Did you ever hit him that hard? I can't you only be so careless that body. Therese whispered as they continued their stride through the crowd. But I'll let this slide. Just this time. Mademoiselle is too kind, Annette smiled. Give me your hand soft squeeze and Therese nodded knowingly, though unable to withhold a blush. Indeed. I'm thirsty. Go fetch me a mineral water, Annette, and make it quick. Annette waited patiently for her mistress to realize the complications of her request, but after the day she was certain Therese would eventually get used to her situation. Any day now. And that's the piece of work that I have to offer you guys. do apologize for whatever you just heard. It's not. I'm not exactly at my best right now. The reading is like, and I haven't just rehearsed for this. But it's not like I should put any effort to such stuff like that, right?